Metro Booming has always been a formidable producer in the hip hop space. But what do I think about Metro Booming presents the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse soundtrack? We'll discuss my impressions right here today on Incrowd Network. What's up, guys, and thanks for joining us right here on Incrowd Network. So I didn't want to go ahead and do a review of this album because I felt as if it was too soon and I didn't listen enough to give a full review, but I did listen enough to give my first impressions. With after about 2 to 3 plays, I have to say Metro Booming is in a completely different space. He's no longer the guy that's just making hip hop beats. He's a full-fledged producer. So, on the soundtrack, which is the soundtrack to the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse movie, he produces the entire album. And the list of talent he was able to pull together for this thing is amazing. He's got Offset, he's got JID, he's got Lil Uzi Vert, Future, Nas. Nas is on this album. We've got Don Toliver, we've got 21 Savage, ASAP Rocky. It's a never-ending list of just amazing rappers, but in some cases he's got non-rappers like James Blake, which he adds such a beautiful layer over some of these tracks with rappers I never really thought that I would have seen work in the past. We've got Coi Leray on here, who's got a track that really actually made me a little bit more of a fan. I was never a fan of her music, but after hearing her on this track, it makes me say to myself, maybe I should go take a listen. And with the soundtrack, he goes after some beats that are not all hip hop influenced. I have to say, I am extremely impressed by what Metro Booming has been able to do. Now, I did see the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse movie, and it was okay. I didn't really think it was as great as the rest of the world says that it is. But personally, after listening to this soundtrack, I kind of started thinking that the soundtrack might outshine the movie for me personally. This is for someone who actually likes music just as much as I like movies. But in this case, I'm liking a lot more of what I'm hearing on the soundtrack than what I saw at the movie theaters. And almost disappointingly, the music from the soundtrack wasn't as incorporated into the movie as I would have expected. With some of the moods here, with some of the vocals here, I would have expected more of it in the movie, and it really wasn't there. So as a standalone, the soundtrack does a great job because the movie does not promote it as much as you would have expected. I'm willing to bet that not a lot of people are even aware of the fact that there is a Metro Booming fully produced soundtrack for this movie. That's how little it was produced. It doesn't make any sense to me. From everything that I'm hearing, this is an amazing album. Again, I've only gotten about 2 to 3 full listens, but from what I'm hearing, this is top notch. My standout track on this so far is Calling with Nav and Sway Lee and A Boogie. Excellent track. I think I've played that track over and over again a few times, so it's definitely my most listened to track on the album. But from what I'm hearing, this is something that is definitely worth everyone's listen. Not because it's just a good mixtape almost, but it's also nice to hear what Metro Booming is doing. He has matured so much as a producer, and I think that the album deserves to be listened to just because of the work that this man has put into it. But let me know what you guys think. Have you guys heard this, or did you just only go check the movie out? Because I think that the soundtrack stands alone on its own very well. This is a beautiful body of work that I've heard so far. Let me know what you guys think. Sound off in the comments below, and we'll see you on our next video. I am Aaron, and this is Incrowd Network. This was my impressions of the Spider-Verse soundtrack from Metro Booming. Until next one, guys. Peace.